Well, it's about 2 a.m. Uh, Kicking it, really. I got some laundry done and cleaned the hotel room, getting stuff ready to move into a house, a rental house. Big, beautiful home in Santa Quinn. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It really, really is. I will be honest with you, though. It's a little hard because the layout is so extremely similar to our house. So we couldn't pass up on the opportunity. It's a really amazing house, and like the insurance is doing everything they can to make sure that we stay in the area. So I can't complain. And my family is very, very happy about it. So I think it's just me. This is about the normal. I don't like to sleep. I honestly cannot fall asleep until about 3 or 4, usually. Weston's woken up once because of a nightmare, and then he just says that all he hears is the fire alarms. So that's not fun. It's not fun to have to hear and to have to see him just struggle and the baby struggle. I feel about the same. There have been a few times where a fire alarm or just a beep will go off or something. And, you know, me and Weston specifically, we just kind of like stop and freeze. Like, it takes over our bodies for a second. It's very weird. I think I've done this once on Facebook, but I think I'll do this for the YouTube as well. The story about what happened that night. Yeah. So that night was pretty normal. I had a campfire at my house in my backyard. I ended that about like 10:30. I put the fire out completely. We went for a drive. We went and looked at Christmas lights, and then we came, put the kids to bed. I stayed up and I watched a show, and I went to bed around 2. This must be an issue. I fell asleep. Around 2. I woke up around 3. I feel like I just shut my eyes. Literally, I laid down and I shut my eyes, and then right as I relaxed, Ashton came into the room and was just poking me, and she said, "Mom, Kaya is screaming and I smell smoke." And then the alarm started going off. So I got up and I turned on the light in our room, and it was filled with a very light haze, and clearly smelled smoke. And then I went downstairs to the main floor and saw that it was covered in heavy gray smoke. And by the time I got to the living room, which is just around the corner down the stairs, it was so dark I couldn't see through the room at all. So I ran and I opened up some windows in the living room to try to just air it out, which, you know, made it so that I couldn't breathe at all. So I hit the ground and I went over to the basement because I didn't see any flames coming from like the oven, which I didn't leave on. Nothing in the kitchen was on fire. There was no flames upstairs. So I went to the basement, and when I opened up the door, just black smoke came at me, and flames were on the ceiling coming at me. And that was one of the hardest moments that still kind of just feels like it's lasting forever. I can just still see it exactly the way that it was just right now, perfectly. And Trist was right there at the bottom, of those stairs. So that is one of the main reasons I think that it was just so hard, and that moment is still hard for me to get out of my mind, because he was right there and I could not get to him. So after I saw what was going on in the basement, the ceiling was already covered in fire. I ran and I told Randall to get the kids out of the house. Nobody was wearing shoes or jackets or anything. We just left. I ran back upstairs to go get Scout, Ashton's bird that was in her room, and ran him outside. And either then or right before the first time we came out, I cannot remember, this angel of a woman, our neighbor, I really hope that this is being recorded, headphones. Our neighbor was walking her dog before she had to go to work at Walmart, because she's super woman. And she saw us standing out there, and she pulled my kids and my husband into her home. Had to stop me from going back in, because I wanted to go back in there and look for the birds, try to figure something out with the dogs. And by the time that I tried to walk back in that door, the second time, that heat wall was already at the bottom of the stairs. I couldn't get through the front door at all, and Jen was just holding me, and she said, "You cannot go. Your babies are alive, but you've got to leave." It feels like within a few minutes we just called the fire department and waited for them to come, and by then the flames were shooting out windows. And after a few minutes of sitting in the neighbor's home with my family and their whole family all woken up, we started having knocks on the doors, other neighbors instantly coming by to help us up. It was absolutely insane. But I had walked outside, and I was with my next door neighbor. He's an amazing dude. We were just walking around the backyard, and I look inside in the kitchen. The kitchen, you can't even see inside the windows or the sliding glass doors. It is just covered in a wall of fire. If that is what hell looks like, which the Bible describes that way, so firemen are trying to work on everything. They're just spraying the house down with water, so much water, and the flames are just kind of shooting out the basement. I'll post videos for sure, but just kind of watching it, and the whole entire time we're just like, how do we stop this? What do we do? And seriously, when I opened up the basement door, like for just a second, I thought, like, where is the salt? Gotta get, someone give me the salt. I'll just toss it on the ceiling. I don't know, man. So there are a few neighbors. There are some, I don't know if anyone wants to be named or anything like that, so I won't. But there are, just the neighborhood in general, they literally just held us up that whole entire night, just watching the sun come up and our house go down. It was just like all of those beautiful, beautiful gifts that they gave the kids, the clothes that they gave to us, the money. I hate to say it, but seriously, the money. This amazing little girl gave me like this jar of coins, and I have literally been doing my laundry off those coins, and I think about her like every day. It's just all of the love and the support that we've gotten has been indescribable. There's no way to say, like, this group of people that we've only known for like less than 6 months just has taken our family absolutely in. They've all offered their homes. They've all given us their stuff, continue to give us their stuff. It's just... Anyways, so back on track. We had gotten photos taken and everything of the inside of the house. And I mean, of course, everyone kind of saw the garage was pretty saved. All of our junk and my stuff that I didn't want to bring in to the beautiful, clean home. Super old special things, of course, like just it's very special things were saved in the garage. So that was awesome. Water damage and some smoke damage and stuff like that is definitely going to be a problem, but we've got the restoration company that's just going to go through and take care of everything for us. Clean it off if it cannot be saved. Everything will be photographed anyway, so that's awesome. It's crazy. It's a huge load off of our minds because it's not even safe to walk in the garage. All of it is just nuts. So anyway, they went through and they took photos of the house and everything like that. I'll definitely be posting those as well. But the whole time, you know, all of this is happening, Randall and I just kind of keep saying like, oh yeah, we could totally use this for that. And oh, we should grab this. And like, I don't know, just it escapes us that all of our stuff is just ashes right now. But there are a couple things that we have talked about that were very, very special that broke our hearts that we thought lost, that were lost. Wow, tired. Ugh, so tired. Anyway, his grandma's paintings, specifically one she gave us on our wedding day, just a very beautiful, amazing painting of Yellowstone, which is our favorite place, and a bunch of moose painted in there because I love moose. Amazing things. My grandfather's piano. Just, there's some very crazy, a couple of my Disneyland things I had all just neatly laid out in my closet. First stuffed animal, first hat, all that jazz. The master closet and the front room that all of those things were in were completely untouched by the flames as well. So those things are just smoke damaged and not destroyed. We can have them back. So it's just nuts the way that it worked out. I mean, I guess it's not nuts. It's God's plan, obviously. Like, all of these things happen for a reason. He saved certain things for an absolute reason. My animals, my children. So, it's just definitely hard letting go of absolutely everything in your comfort zone and just giving that to him. Giving everything up. A lot of pride, a lot of I don't know, blindness, really. Randall and I had been thinking a lot heavily that day specifically. Randall was reading a passage just saying, don't hold on to earthly things, like keep your eyes up. And then totally went the opposite direction. As many sermons as I listened to, I ended up watching a TV show at the end of the night, and it was on minimalism. So it was just like, I could not stop watching it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like, every time I go camping, I think about all the stuff that we have that we do not need or use. And so, like, oops. God's been talking to us a lot. He's been preparing us for this, and in no way was I expecting anything like this to ever happen. I do feel like there are other things involved with it. This isn't something that he wanted to happen. He definitely watched over us while it did. So anyway, they say that they can save the house. I would love opinions on this. I just don't know what direction things are going right now, to be honest with you anyway. But they say that the frame does not need to be torn down and they can just rebuild on that. So I have heard that that's not a good idea, that we need to just tear down completely and start over. So I don't know. They're professionals. They're professionals. I've trusted everything that they have said so far. They've made us feel extremely comfortable. We're happy with them. I am very nervous, though. I'm nervous. I'm scared about it. So, good news is they say that there's just a lot that they can do to help us. We're not going to be left, high and dry. There are a few things that we would definitely like to change, tweak a little bit, I guess. But we are on this ride, and there's just nothing but beautiful things thrown our way throughout the whole thing. It's ugly and it's beautiful, and I don't understand it. It's very confusing. Honestly, this can sound weird to some of my friends. Reading the Bible and praying and talking to God has been the only thing that's been keeping me going. There's definitely this feeling of everything is absolutely all right when I do that. That comes and goes, absolutely. I mean, that's how emotions are. I break down and I cry. I kind of get angry sometimes and I lash out, or I'm just like, why did this happen? So, yes, ups and downs, but I have felt him throughout this whole thing, and I know that he's hurting for me. That's definitely the feeling that I've gotten. But we're also supposed to be learning a lot from this. Rebuilding is just going to be, we knew we were rebuilding anyway. If you know anything about us and our history and blah, 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 we're rebuilding hardcore, and now we're just even more so. So, yeah, that's about what's going on right now. As far as the investigation goes, the fire inspector for Santaquin, the one that my husband and I had talked to, and I was able to get that information about my dogs. He told us some really amazing stuff. The fire was caused between, and we're not positive about this either, we still have a couple more investigators to come out, between an electrical cord that wasn't properly tied up or something, and then the furnace, because the fire started in between these 2 points, and it just mixed with our basement not being finished. No drywall there to help protect anything like the insulation. He said that it will light a basement up like that within 4 to 6 minutes. So I definitely think that everybody needs to be getting some things checked out anyway, but that's just some very crazy information that I just didn't know. We had talked for a really long time about finishing the basement, and that was something we got lazy on. Same thing with, excuse me, coffee burp. Same thing with Ashton. She came home with a paper like maybe 2 or 3 weeks before, and it was about fire safety, and you guys need to have plans, blah, blah, blah. And we totally ignored that. Did not build a ladder for the window like we said that we were going to. Got lazy. So, what the heck, guys? Grow up. Anyway, everyone needs to do that too. I think we should like all have a craft night or something and just make ladders for the windows because, I don't know, would have been helpful, maybe. If we couldn't have gotten down the stairs, the ladder would have been helpful because we would not have made it past the bottom of the stairs if Ashton wouldn't have woken us up. So yeah, just definitely food for thought. Finish your basement, fire escapes. Yeah, definitely a lot. A lot to take in. We're almost done with hotel life, about to live into the rental. We can start collecting furniture for our new home when it is completed. So that's what's going on right now. Life is good. Life is great. Life is wonderful. I need to go watch a Bill Murray movie and laugh and fall asleep. But anyway, I hope everyone's having a good night. It's nice and chilly over here in Utah. I want to ask them to like light up the fire pit, but I don't know how many people know me as like the fire pit lady that burned her house down. I hope not. Sheesh. Anyway, all right. I love y'all. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the love. Talk to all y'all later. Almost 3 a.m. I need to go to sleep. Talk to y'all later. Bye.